Okay, guys, welcome back. I'm going to go through gold and gold mining stocks. Give me a thumbs up before I do. If you want market analysis, go back and watch my last video. I go through markets there. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the range we're in. We're on the weekly chart of gold. This is gold bullion, and the weekly chart here shows that the range low is 1570, and the range high is about 1800. It's 1790 or so, and we're just in that range. If I slide over, you can see we're up near the high end of the range. I suspect we could go either way right here. Everybody sees the top end of that range, so we could fall short and come back down to the support of 1570, or we could move all the way up to the top of the range. Now we haven't tagged it, and momentum is to the upside, so I suspect we go up in gold. But there's not a whole lot of room left before we get to the top of the range. I don't think we're going to just break right through that range without some sort of retracement or correction in gold. So that's what I see on the bigger picture stuff. But gold's still in a bull market, and the momentum is still positive. Let's look at the daily chart here. Here's the daily chart. Clearly you can see it's just a bull market. And zooming in, we've just been kind of flagging out or consolidating right here within this range. There's just not a whole lot more room to the top end of the range. We've got about $80 in gold to the upside and more to the downside. Support sitting down here at 1570. So not the most interesting chart. Although it's in a bull market, I look to add at support or buy on dips essentially. But that is how I'm going to continue to look to trade gold, is to the long side and continuing the bullish sentiment around gold because it's in a bull market. Here's GDX. This is the gold mining ETF. I don't look at this one too often, but thought I'd chart it out. Here's the here's the support. This is the long-term support right here, and you can see we've come a ways. We've come away from it a little bit. So a pullback down to support would be a great buying opportunity. If we get that pullback, it'd probably come down to, around $26, depending on when we get there. But that is where you'd want to look to be buying GDX at long-term support. Short-term stuff, we're just flagging. You've got a bull flag here, or you've got a flagpole. Here's the bull flag, and we're just kind of flagging out. But when I look a little closer, I do see a potential. Let me move into the hourly. I see a potential head and shoulders, and I'll just draw it out right here. So this would be like your shoulder right there. Here's your head right there, and then another shoulder right there. So I marked it out with this trend line right here at 35.51. That's potential head and shoulders, and then your neckline is sitting down here at 31.50. A break below the neckline with a solid hourly close, probably sets us in motion to go back to long-term support down here at like $26, $27, depending on when we get there. So that's what I see there on GDX. Let's look at Barrick Gold. Here's Barrick Gold. The reason why I haven't been too interested in the miners recently is we've just been in this sideways trading range. It's just been going sideways. Now, I can easily see us moving back up to this 28.40, and I think that's actually where we're heading right now. I do see, you can see here on the hourly chart, we have divergence, we have positive, or it's right there. But basically, when we made this low right here, that was a higher low in the PPO and the RSI. So that was bullish divergence, which told you that was a divergent low. And, we've gotten this bounce off of that. So everything looks pretty strong. I mean, we're kind of just building a support down here around the bottom end of the range. And maybe we want to make another run up to the top end of the range, up around 28.40. So I think that's where it's going. I'm probably going to look at continuing to anticipate that. But, once we get up there, what happens, and we'll have to just wait and see. Going to the daily, I mean, everything's still bullish here. It's just we've got the sideways range to kind of fight through. So at this point, you know, we can go to the top of the range or we can break down. And if we break down, you know, then we've got 22.50 down to $20 right here. These are good. These are kind of my buy zones that I'm looking to buy this at. Agnico Eagle, we're just flagging out. We're making a bull flag. Here's your support line right here. You can see, and you know, these ones undercut it, but they ramped right up and closed right at it. Here we gapped down, closed the candle right there above it. So there's your support. Here's your resistance. We're up near resistance at this point. So do we break through, or does resistance hold and we head down again? We'll have to wait and see. Here's Kirkland Lake. Same thing. Looks the exact same thing as Agnico Eagle. You got a bull flag. Here's your flag right here. We're about in the middle of the flag right there, so it's it could go either way. Newmont Mining. This one actually looks a little more bullish when I see this. So we have bullish divergences. See that? PPO and RSI. So those are making higher highs and higher lows. Meanwhile, the price back here was making lower lows. That's the divergence. You're diverging from the indicators. The price is going the opposite direction as the indicators. That's what divergence is. And we also had this trend line right here. I marked it out. You can see it held as resistance, resistance. Here it was resistance, but it broke. And then it held as support. You can see support, support. And even today we gapped down below it, but recovered it. That candle closed right on it and then moved right up. So that held, and looks to me like Newmont has broken resistance and wants to now move up. So we'll have to continue to watch this, but this could be setting up for a move up to the highs, up around $68, 69 bucks. So we'll continue to watch that one. Franco Nevada, bull flag. Here's your flagpole. Here's your flag. We're at resistance right now in the flag. So does it break through? We might get a breakout. Again, these miners love to do false breakouts though, so you have to watch for it. They do like to do that, but we might get a breakout and they might run. So you got to kind of keep an eye on those. Kinross Gold flagpole here. Here's your flag at resistance right here. We only have two reactions though, 1, 2. So I can't say this is resistance, but you know, let's see what tomorrow brings. Do we get a gap up tomorrow? Do we get a gap down? Do we get a confirmed reaction right here? If we do, then that's your trend line. As of right now, I can't tell because I only have 2 data points. But if it wants to gap up, like some of these others look like they want to do, then maybe that is going to be a breakout and start the next leg higher. Let's look at silver real quick. Silver is a little different, but and I don't trade silver a lot. I prefer to trade gold, but we do have what looks like somewhat of a flag. You know, we'll call that the flagpole, and there's your flag. So we're just chopping around sideways. Really, silver's gone nowhere for you know, since we basically broke right here. You know, almost a month. And that's why it's just been kind of a dead trade. And the gold miners as well. They've just been flagging out. All the gold miners have just been flagging out. When you're flagging out, you're kind of moving sideways to down. You know, it's just consolidation. So I'm kind of waiting for some sort of, you know, impulsive action around these to get a better read on them. Let's look at the dollar. This is the other thing. The dollar was impulsively selling off, but so we might get another little leg down, but here's support on the dollar. It's around 95, and it's long-term support. It goes back, you know, 10, 11 years. You can see support. It held here, and then we tagged it, or almost tagged it. Let me take this away right here. Almost tagged it on that impulsive drop right there, and now we're coming back to it. So sold off towards the end of today. We'll see what happens. Does it, you know, carry momentum down here and hold, or do we break? If we get a longer term break in the dollar, then that should really set these gold miners up for, a pretty big rally continuing forward. So we'll continue to watch that. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for following along. Leave me a thumbs up. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.